Hello, and this is the Warp Forge with another Junkyard Terrain episode kind of thing. Again, once inspired from Commissar Gamza for his Trash Terrain episodes, I decided today I'm going to make a set of post-apocalyptic tank trap barricade things. So this may be expensive depending on if you buy Forge World or not, but I'm going to use these bits from Forge World models and create a bit of terrain out of them. So without further ado, we'll go into what you'll need. So first off, what you'll need is some of these Forge World sprue things. I'm not exactly sure what you're supposed to call these, so I'm just going to call them Forge World sprues because that's the only thing I know really how to call them. Now, if you've got anything that looks similar to this shape, where it looks like a bar of gold, basically, then you can use that. I'm pretty sure you can. And if you're able to make something of similar shape, then go for it. But I'm just showing you how to make some what should be useless sprue into some decent terrain. The next thing you'll need are these. These are cocktail sticks. Now, if this can zoom in, well, you know what it is. Now, if anyone's asking what the green stuff is, it's precisely that. It's liquid green stuff that I've used because my green stuff is muddy. It's not exactly tough liquid anymore, so it's just muddy, but it still works. So I use cocktail sticks as a form of sculpting tool, I suppose. But now it's going to be used as terrain. You'll need clippers and a hobby knife, as you can see there. You will need a set of files, or at least one file. I use Rolson's files because I find these are actually quite good quality and a decent price as well. You will require the obvious, the one and only, the glue gun. You may require some toilet roll, all flattened out, especially for this. Not for any specific purpose for the model, it's just for cleaning up with the hot glue gun is what it is, and maybe a bit of resin here and there. You will also need a hobby drill like this. So we can have Mr. Gallop. So yeah, a drill just to drill holes in, kind of what the drill does. And last but not least, you will need some foam board. Now, the foam board will provide a base. Obviously, this size is A4, but you can go smaller if you want to save up for other pieces of foam board for other bits of terrain that you may have in mind. So, disclaimer, so I don't get sued from some guy, because you never know with the internet, there's always that guy. This shit can get hot. It's like one of those women at the nightclub kind of deal kind of thing. It's okay to have a bit of a window shop, get a bit close, but no touching, because when you touch, you get burned. And you don't want to get burned, and you don't want to get blisters. Why does it get hot? Because this needs to melt. This is a glue stick. Glue stick for the glue gun, which comes out this end. Again, I'm already feeling it warm up, so try not to touch, because it does get very, very hot, to the point where it can potentially short circuit and fuse out your entire home at times. I have heard and read extreme cases like that happening, so keep an eye on your tools. Another disclaimer. These tools are sharp. Hobby knife, clippers and drill. You can take some bastard's eye out with that, and you can lose fingers to that, and God knows what you have in store for that. So you basically cut away from yourself and don't hurt yourself. Another disclaimer. The last one, I promise, just so that guy doesn't sue the arse off us. Resin is poisonous and dangerous. Use a dust mask or some sort of masking device so that you don't inhale the resin particles when you're drilling and you're cutting and you're filing all these down. So the first step is we have to prepare these up for barricade-esque. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab one of these for this, and we're going to use your clippers. Now your clippers are going to clip these off. Anything that adds to the basic shape. You have to take off again. These are solid bits and they do fly around, as you've just seen. So now you've cut all the bits off from the top, it's time to file it down. Now the file I'm going to choose is what I call the SpongeBob file, where it's basically a giant square on the top. It's very flat, you just rub it across until you can't even see the mold line or whatever it was. As you can see, it does get very dusty, as you can see, so this is why you need to wear a dust mask and keep well away from it. Also try and get some protective layers for your eyes as well, just in case. I don't know if eyes can have allergies to dust or resin particles, but I can imagine if any of this got onto the contacts of your eyes, then it would be severely irritant. So I'm just going to pause this now to show you everything prepared. Okay, so a bit of a helper as well is this knife. As you can see, I've been at work, but sometimes a file just takes so damn long you just want to do something lazy. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm just literally just going to shave it off like you were sharpening a pencil with a knife back in the good old days. When I was a boy in 1826, and the best entertainment we got was in the form of two knights on horses jousting and stabbing each other in the neck. As you can see. Now, if you're worried about having imperfections, don't worry. Remember, these are meant to be for post-apocalyptic scenarios or theme, so it's okay to have a lot of wear and tear with these guys. So, as you can see, I've still got a little bit left. Come on. Again, it's a bit tough, but what you can do as well is just score it like that. Once you get it flat enough, you can start doing this and it's magic. As you can see, more dust particles. Keep well away from that impact explosive zone, and we'll come back to all of them prepared. One last point, you might have like some trademark stuff like Games Workshop on the actual things. If you want to leave them on and be a cheeky git, then go right ahead. For me, I'm going to file them all off though. Just like that, so you can't really see the Games Workshop anymore. It's all filed out, so it looks all plain and bare. Now, if you want to get a craft knife and make this absolutely flat, then you can, but I'm a lazy git, so I'm just on the bottom anyway. So I'm just going to leave it and you let the glue gun do its work. You might also notice that your file might get a bit clogged up on the resin particles. So what I like to do is I just like to get a bit of a toilet paper or kitchen roll or whatever and start cleaning the file off. So you can see, just a few strokes. Might take a little while, but it makes all the difference. So now we have them all prepared. What you do is you grab any one that you like. So I'm going to grab this one. You can start drilling holes in one side of it. Now it's important to note one side. So you can do this anywhere you like, any place, and as many as you like. So I'm going to start drilling here. Oh, that glue gun is really hot now. I can feel it from here. This is what I'm talking about. Disclaimers, guys. That shit's important. So drill deep. You can drill if you're drilling from the top, you can drill in as deep as you like, really. I would say give it 3mm in, 4, 5mm in, but if you want to be specific, but I'm just drilling holes in. So as you can see, that's one hole, and keep on drilling holes, basically, in any formation, any way you like. So, and we'll come back to it once I've drilled all the holes in. Now, an important thing to note is you might want a bigger drill bit than a really small one like I've done. As you can see, what I wanted to do was to fit the cocktail sticks inside these. Now my drill's too small, but if you've got a bigger drill, it'll fit perfectly. So if you're not lucky enough to have a bigger drill, you can always get your craft knife here, and you can start poking a hole and start making an entry by just gently twisting it. Obviously, give it a bit of rough and tug so that it actually do something, but don't be too rough with it because you don't want to blunt the knife and you don't want to break the blade as well. Especially you don't want it going into you. So something like that, and then you just pop it in. Now, how you're going to pop it in, I'll explain once this is prepared. So as we can see, that's one done basically. So we go on to the next step. So the next step is, you've probably guessed it, the cocktail sticks. Now, best to have both edges be pointy as anything. I'm just clearing off a little bit of green stuff here. Obviously, if you haven't used green stuff on a cocktail stick before, then you won't have that problem. But like I say, you just need this. Now you've got to decide how big you want one of the spikes, because these are what you're going to stick on as I've just shown. So I'm going to place it there. Yeah, we'll go for that. So, the reason why I'm using a craft knife, although I've made a mark, what you can do is, and I may have said this before, is maybe get a hobby drill. Now I've made a mark, just saw into it, and there you go. You've got one spike. Now the beautiful thing about having a double-bladed spiky area is that you've got another spike. Now if you want to keep it that height, you can, but if you want it shorter, which I do, once again, get the saw and just start hacking into it. And the thing about cocktail sticks is that they're very easy to cut with a saw. Now again, a disclaimer, this is sharp. Always try and cut away from yourself or try and do the bridge mechanism. Now if you don't know what the bridge mechanism, it's usually the ideal way to cut your food, like watermelons and stuff like that. So you just bridge it over, cut it up, and unless you're very, very shaky of hand, nothing should go wrong. Again, I'm only saying that so I don't get sued off my arse. So we're on to the next step. You should end up with something like this. So, that's one done. Now you can leave it like that and then just pile it around anywhere, or you can put it on a board. Now, because I'm not really thinking about putting these just anywhere, because I can imagine these will get snapped off in this room very easily, I'm going to try and put it on a board, make it look a bit nicer and stuff like that. Now, one thing to notice is, especially with these, hang on, once you've used a craft knife to really widen up the gap so that you can put the cocktail sticks in, they do look a bit like bullet holes in cement as well. So if you wanted to do like one side riddled with bullet holes, you can do that, and then with the other side you can put the cocktail sticks in to show a lot even more wear and tear. So after all that, once I move the tools out of the way, you will have, well, I've just made at least 3 of these spiky barricades. Now obviously, again, you can leave these separate and then have them as scatter terrain for whatever flexible purpose you want, but I'm going to put them on a board, so I'm going to show you how to put them on a board. So for the board I'm going to use a bit of foam board, as you can see from the shaky white balance, I would assume, from that. I'm going to do a smallish one and dry fit to see what formation I want. I could have them like that, could have them like that, could have them spreading out, and I think that's going to be alright. So the next thing I want to do is I want to make a template out of that. So using a pen, fine liner pen, I'm going to make a small template of how I want this thing to look. So obviously I've stopped it there because, as you can see, all the barricades are in the way. So what I'm going to do is going to pause this and make sure I finish off with the template. Now, as you can see, I didn't really measure this because it's a bit more fluid, I would say, this piece of terrain. It's not like a stable toxic vat. It's not like a bridge or anything. You're literally just making scat terrain on a piece. So as you can see, I've done that. Now it's time to cut out the template. And how I'm going to cut it out is I'm going to use a scalpel. So we know where everything's going to be. We know everywhere's going to fit because we've just made the template for it. Now, as you can see, I've tried making it across the edges, close to the edges as I possibly can without it bordering onto the flat bits. And because I did that, it'll save more foam board for if I want to do anything more. So what I do is I just pop it in and start hacking away. Now, you don't really need to be too clean. Again, I don't have a steady hand, so hello. So if this template doesn't work, that's my fault, not the template. So I'll show you the finished result. So how to get it out is, once it's all cut out, you just pop it out like that, and then you've got a template. Now, obviously, if you don't like the rugged look, you can always use a knife and just sharpen it and just sand it. Now, what I also suggest is, I don't have any sandpaper. If you've got sandpaper or sanding block, I'd recommend using that as well, because that might give you a smoother finish. So again, then a knife. Like I say, I'm only doing this because I only have a knife. Again, it's a bit rugged, but that's what you kind of want for like erupting tectonic plates and stuff for post-apocalyptic background. Now, you can use cardboard for this from like cereal boxes, and it'll be thinner, as in the base will be thinner. I only chose to use foam board because I want that rugged look to look very post-apocalyptic, as in it's in the middle of a war zone, or the fight's already been lost and now it's lost to wear and tear of nature. So again, like I say, it's all rugged. I don't mind that. I personally like it. So now we go on to gluing it. So to glue it, we need the first part, and we just whack them all. There we go. Slap it on and slap it where you want it. I want it there. So that's going to look nice. Next one, it's only a smallie. It's only a small one. So come on. Dab of glue. Dab it in place. That will hold, but that may need take time to dry. And last but not least, again, this one will go on like so. And that's how you do it. And that is a set of post-apocalyptic barricades. I'm going to be using this for Warhammer 40,000 and Batman. So, pardon me. Oh, that was a bad one as well, sorry. There we go. There's just a size comparison of what it'll look like. I will get another angle. There, hopefully that's a bit of better size comparison. I'll also put a finished painted model next to it. So again, it's alright for 28mm to 35mm, I believe. Obviously you can add more on. The more effort you put in, general as a rule of thumb, the more effort you put in, the more you get out of it. So if you wanted cocktail sticks coming out the roof with like full torsos or corpses of space marines or whatever, zombies or whatever you want in, then it's going to look a lot more better. Like I said, this is just very, very basic scatter terrain. 5 up barricades, or a few ping rolls from I don't know, for a Batman. But if you want to play, like if you're actually playing post-apocalyptic games, like this is not a test, or When It Arrives, The Walking Dead war game by Mantic Games, this scatter terrain will be perfect, because you can already see loads of this happening in the TV show. So, and maybe the comics, I haven't really read the comics, but like I say, I think it's nice for a bit of scatter terrain. It's cheap, well, cheapish. Obviously, it's 4-draw blocks, and then that usually came with a model. But like I say, if you've got like a barcode or anything, sorry, not barcode, if you've got a shape like a bar of gold that is quite smallish but not too small, then obviously you can whack this on, and you can still do this scatter terrain, no problem. Again, like I say, you can use the bullet hole technique that I showed earlier on the other side, and then you got to paint it up. Now, I'm not going to really show you how to paint it up, because if you're building this, then rule of thumb, you're more than likely to know what you've got in mind. For all I know, you could paint this in high neon colours for the planet of My Little Pony zombies or something like that. I don't know, the imagination is yours. So, this is how you do it. More time, like I say, the more effort you put in and all that. And that's all I can really say. If you enjoyed what you see and you want to see more, and I am thinking about doing some painting tutorials, so this could be the building side of the terrain, and then I do some painting tutorials of very basic stuff, of just dry brushing using some acrylic paints from your craft store or something like that, and then just a black primer spray or something like that. Something very basic. I'm thinking about doing that, but I have to get the stuff in first. So this is more the building side. I might do the painting side later. So if you want to keep up to date with all this scatter terrain nonsense that I'm building out, then please give this channel a subscribe, go to the Facebook page, like the page. As a member of the Legion of Gamza, please check out their page. The link will be in the description below. Or below. Hey. That camera's awkward at times. But, like I say, if you liked what you saw, then please like the video. If there's anything you want to talk about in the comments section, then please comment away. I like talking to you guys and girls out there, or my beautiful heretics. If you think this could be something for your friend to just play along with, or for your friend to make some terrain as well as you, for like maybe a day of building terrain for your boards, then please share this video out to as many people as possible. The more the name gets out there, the better. So thank you for watching. This is the Warp Forge, signing out, and remember, keep on forging.